Abre el cuarto a la niña. ¿Te das cuenta? Mírala. Abre el cuarto.
This first clip comes from the Philippines, and the story behind it is more than a little unsettling. A woman uploaded the footage after spending months looking after her elderly grandmother, who had been dealing with recurring episodes of sleep paralysis for quite a while. The older woman kept insisting that she could see a dark, shadowy figure standing right next to her bed whenever these frightening episodes would happen during the night. Her family started to worry about these recurring episodes, so they made the decision to set up cameras around the house to monitor what was going on while she slept. When they reviewed one of the recordings, they found something they weren't expecting at all. Right near the bed where the grandmother is lying, a thick dark shape forms out of nowhere. It looks almost like smoke or mist. A few seconds after that, one of her daughters walks into the room and appears to swipe her hand toward the spot, like she's trying to push something back. The problem is, there's no audio and no way to tell if she actually saw what the camera picked up, or if she was just reacting to something else entirely. Still, a lot of people who've seen this think it's real. Some cultural traditions hold that dark entities specifically seek out vulnerable or weakened individuals to draw from their life force. The footage raises unsettling questions. Was this simply a visual glitch or trick of the light? Or could it represent evidence of something genuinely threatening? Three friends were hanging out at one of their places when the homeowner started hearing creepy noises coming from the bathroom. At first, they brushed it off as just a strange coincidence, probably nothing to worry about. But the noises kept persisting, so they decided to check it out. What they captured left them completely terrified.
Soy yo. Se están escuchando mazo de ruidos, tú. Eso viene del baño.
No vayas, estás loco,
Hermano.
Que es lo que quiere que vayas. Vale, venga, poco a poco, tío. Una polla.
Una polla.
Una polla. No.
Oye, para.
Para internet, hermano, ¿qué haces? ¿Estás loco?
Se está escuchando desde el baño.
Escúchame. Pon internet ahí, hermano.
¿Hola?
Una polla. Hermano, esto da mucho mal rollo,
¿Hay alguien ahí?
No.
Hermano.
Tira, vamos a ver lo que es.
Hermano, no.
Acércate un poco más. Tira. Asoma la cámara. Espérate lo que hay, Vale, ahí no hay nada. No hay nada ahí. ¡Hostia puta! ¡Corre, hermano! ¡Corre! ¡What the fuck!
When they angle the camera around the doorway toward the tub, you can see what appears to be a grayish figure with long dark hair leaning out from behind the shower curtain. The moment they spot it, all three of them bolt straight out of the house in absolute terror. Whether this is genuine footage of something truly paranormal or just an elaborate setup between friends, that's something only you can decide for yourself. This clip was submitted by a man who works as a night officer at a neighborhood pub in town. He says since starting at the old pub, which staff say is haunted, he has felt like something attached to him. One night he heard loud banging from the main floor of his house and grabbed his phone. He began recording to document the moment, as it unfolded from start to finish. He adds he did not see the shadow enter his room, which makes the footage even creepier. In the clip, the shadow darted in, then its head peeked from the side for a second on camera. It is flat out terrifying. While working outside one afternoon, a homeowner had their indoor security camera running and pointed at an empty room. In the frame sat a chair with 2 dolls resting on it. At first, the footage shows nothing out of the ordinary. Then the camera records something strange that's difficult to account for. Here's what happens.
And
With no one around to touch it, the chair slowly rocks backward and holds its position, balanced only on the rear legs for several long seconds. No visible strings, no movement from pets or people, nothing that might account for the tilt. When the homeowner played back the recording later, they had no clear explanation for what had happened. Some viewers pointed to natural causes, while others felt the incident pointed towards something paranormal unfolding in that room. A mother began noticing her young daughter Evelyn staring into a dark corner of the bedroom as if watching someone there. She dismissed it as childhood imagination until one evening when something unsettling happened.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Evelyn. Who are you talking to?
During a conversation at home, Evelyn suddenly turned and said, "Mom, your uncle is standing right there." Her mother froze. The uncle Evelyn mentioned had died years before she was born, and if you listen closely to the recording, there's a faint sound in the background, almost like something unseen moving nearby. The mystery still has no clear answer to this day. Peter moved into his place 2 weeks ago and has been hearing unexplained noises ever since. In December 2009, he uploaded a video saying it happened again last night, and he grabbed his camera. The footage starts in a dark hallway with loud crashing sounds coming from inside the house. He hits the light switch and looks toward the stairs. Everything goes quiet. He makes his way down the wooden staircase, stomping hard with each step, maybe hoping to scare off an intruder. When he reaches the bottom, he scans the room with his camera. There's nothing there, at least nothing visible. After a moment, he turns around, shuts the light back off, and heads upstairs to his room. That's when he hears another slam from downstairs. Then footsteps, slow and deliberate, climbing up toward him. He stands there, frozen, as the sound gets closer and closer. Then out of nowhere, a shoe flies at him from the dark hallway. He rushes forward with the camera, but there's nobody on the stairs. The hallway is completely empty. Viewers in the comments had one piece of advice: leave every single light on. A young American who came to visit and record the rooms in an old hotel that inspired Stephen King. Stephen stayed in room 217, where he said he had supernatural experiences. Mark started to record the rooms, along with the darker hallways and corners, and would run into something deeply unsettling.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I just saw someone move in that window.
Look in this window right here. Shh, you hear that?
He was outside, filming the front of the building. He captured something that would give anyone chills. In one of the windows, a figure slipped past as if someone were walking inside. That section was closed at the time, with no access for guests or for hotel staff. Mark even recorded the interior to show the exact room and to prove it was shut right then.
This is the room where I saw something. And it's this window.
Curious and uneasy, he reached out to the hotel staff to show them what he filmed and to ask if any employee had gone in at that moment. The answer made it stranger.
Isn't that creepy?
I'm glad you caught that though.
Me too.
You should show the tours.
Okay, I'll show the tours downstairs. Okay. I confirmed with the staff that no one was in there. They don't do patrols inside of that room. And most certainly not at 2:30 a.m.
I want to let you know that I was on live the entire night that night. So there are at least 1,000 people who saw the events of the footage you just saw play out in real time. It's a locked whiskey bar that is only open for private events. And as soon as I saw Mr. Shadow Man show his ass, I ran up to the door of that room that is on that little patio that you can see in the video, shined a flashlight in and showed that there was no one in there.
It was the hotel bar, and it only opens for private events. What looked like a simple mix-up turned into a bigger mystery. So who was the figure that peeked from a room that was officially empty? Something dark seems to linger in that hotel. Madison is a TikTok user who posts about her daily life with her young child, but she's also shared some troubling details about something much darker that's followed her around for as long as she can remember. As a little girl, she would speak to what she described as a little girl living in her closet, which left her mother completely baffled. In recent years, the paranormal activity has grown stronger and more frequent. One night, Madison heard faint voices coming from her kitchen. She grabbed her phone to record it, and what she captured left her deeply shaken.
It's late, and I'm hearing voices in the kitchen. It's just me in here. I'll show you. Sounds like something's banging over by the washer.
Almost immediately, there's a disconcerting shuffle from the kitchen, followed by a low, mournful moan. Then she hears footsteps, distinctive and deliberate, moving directly toward her. She instinctively recoils in alarm. Those footsteps seem to close in on Madison, and she recalls another disturbing moment from years earlier that may involve the same entity. Curious about strange sounds coming from her mother's room, she decided to leave her phone recording overnight. When she finally reviewed the footage the next day, she was absolutely horrified by what she saw.
Ma, you see this?
No. Holy shit! What the hell is that?
In the dimly lit bedroom, a pitch-black figure appears on the left side of the frame, then rises upward before disappearing completely. The movement defies natural physics, as if gravity doesn't affect it. The solid darkness of the shape creates an unsettling impression that this presence is anything but benign. Madison has never been able to explain what the camera captured that day, and for her, it stands as disturbing evidence that something truly malevolent may have been following her since childhood. Does this footage actually show us something from beyond our world? Or is there perhaps a rational explanation that we're simply overlooking? A night officer at a retail store had a disturbing incident unfold during his latest shift. It happened in the toy section.
Mira, se está moviendo, güey. Se está moviendo, güey.
At first it looked like a fluke, a toy switching on by itself, maybe just a glitch. But the worry grew when, on another night, the following scene unfolded.
Está la verga. Pero bueno, en fin. ¿Qué puedo hacer?
What seemed like a fluke turned into long, uneasy nights that made no sense at all. Some called it random, while others thought an unknown presence was setting off the toys to get the guard's attention and let him know he was being watched. A paranormal investigator set up cameras inside an empty house that locals claim is filled with violent spirit activity. The story goes that a family walked out years ago and never came back, leaving almost everything they owned still sitting inside. Chairs and tables were left exactly where they stood. Belongings were spread across every room, and photos of the family were still hanging on the walls. Ever since, people have reported aggressive poltergeist encounters at the property. One investigator decided to find out what was really going on inside the property. He spent over a month carefully studying the house and documenting everything he observed, then placed multiple stationary cameras in different rooms throughout the building to capture whatever unusual activity might happen while the place was completely empty. And what showed up on those recordings is hard to write off. Catch that? On the left side of the frame, the curtain suddenly moves by itself without any visible cause. The investigator says all the doors and windows were locked shut when this was filmed, so there shouldn't have been any draft or breeze. Then, seconds later, a picture frame hanging on the wall starts shaking with no clear explanation. The investigator says that moment was just the start. What the cameras picked up after that is even harder to explain. The investigator monitors security cameras remotely, watching the empty house on multiple feeds. At first, everything appears normal. Then, without warning, the camera feed glitches. When the video returns, something seems different. Focus your attention on the chair. Right before the glitch, the chair's front legs are hovering slightly above the floor. But when the camera comes back on, the chair is sitting completely flat on the ground, almost like someone carefully set it down. The investigator insists no one entered the house while he was recording outside. Strange as that is, the cameras weren't done yet. What they recorded next is harder to brush off. This footage comes from a camera inside one of the kids' bedrooms. A small object starts rolling slowly across the table, even though the room is completely empty. The clip was zoomed in and reviewed frame by frame, and the investigator says he found no signs of strings, digital effects, or tampering. Looking back, the investigator realized that what happened earlier was actually pretty mild compared to everything else they captured that night. As the uploader carefully reviews the dining room camera feed, a disturbing growling scream suddenly tears through the empty house, causing the video to flicker and distort severely. Just moments later, the dining room door slowly begins to drift open completely on its own. The events inside this abandoned home were disturbing enough to convince an entire family to leave everything behind and never return. After watching the footage yourself, it's not hard to understand why they fled. Inside his house, a man is standing near the dining room table, camera already in hand, focused on an old doll sitting in front of him. He's tense, clearly uncomfortable. According to him, he'd just seen the thing move a moment ago, and now he's recording to see if it happens again, or if his mind is playing tricks on him. And then it does. Keep your eyes on the doll.
O es mi imaginación. Amigos, no sé si sea mi imaginación. ¡Ah, la bestia! ¡Ay, hijo de su puta madre! ¡No mames! ¡No mames! ¡Hijo de tu monita madre! ¡Ay, amigos, aguántenme! ¡Ay, Dios mío, espérenme! ¡Ay, Diosito santo! ¡Ay, Diosito santo!
The doll shifts ever so slightly, seemingly on its own. The movement is subtle, but enough to send a chill through the man watching. His breathing quickens as panic sets in. He immediately drops down to look beneath the table, searching desperately for anything that might explain what he's just witnessed. A closer inspection reveals nothing. No hidden intruder, no fishing line, no visible trick, just silence. Whether the doll moved on its own or by some unseen force remains unanswered, and the strange events continue. It was around 12 a.m. in the Philippines when Gian's whole family was shaken, and you can see the fear on his wife's face as she holds their child close. They had been spending a quiet night together when a loud, aggressive noise erupted from outside the house. At first, Gian figured it was someone causing trouble near their place, but when he went to check, he ended up capturing this on video. As he moves to see who is disturbing the family, the bedroom window starts shaking hard, even though no one is there. Creeped out by what he can't explain, he retreats inside until it stops, only for the same thing to start up again a short time later.
Gawas na to, wait daw. Awa, gawas na to. Awa, bintana na mo. Wait daw. Flashlight na ba? Ang maning lugar ay. Sa mga giungo na tadiri. Giungo na bantahan ni style. Wa lagi, wala gid lagi. Awa. Oh, gawas na to ah. Gawas na ko. Wag gid. Atay maning. Lira ba di ka niyo? Kami lugaray. Ikim jis. Aliyaw guguan yung dribi. Kabi naman na
From inside you can see the curtains and the frame rattling, and when he steps back outside he realizes it is not only the bedroom window doing it, because the living room window is moving as well, and stranger still, the shaking seems to hit all the windows around the house at the same time. This went on for several nights in a row, and the situation even drew a message from KMJS, a well-known Philippine television news program, because of how unusual it looked. So are we seeing an actual haunting caught on camera here, or is there another explanation hiding in plain sight? A guy who goes by Dan made the switch to Christianity not long ago. In the months that followed, strange things started happening in his house that he couldn't explain. He'd wake up in the middle of the night completely paralyzed, with what felt like an enormous weight crushing his chest. Thinking maybe faith could help, Dan decided to bring a Bible into the house, hoping it might push out whatever was lurking there. What he managed to capture on camera after that has left a lot of people genuinely unsettled.
Okay, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask you, Jesus, for healing in this home. I ask you to take these demons away from my house. Leave my house now! Leave my house!
While Dan's reading from the Bible out loud, heavy banging sounds echo through the room. Furniture and objects start shifting around without anyone touching them, and the bedroom door keeps slamming open and closed repeatedly, almost like something or someone is walking in and out over and over. A lot of people watching think this is demonic activity, saying that dark forces don't just occupy spaces, they go after the people inside them. Then there are those who say it looks more like a poltergeist, the kind of aggressive spirit known for throwing objects around and causing real damage. Whatever's actually happening, the thing in the room seemed to get more violent when Dan confronted it, tearing through the space while he stayed put, scared but holding a crucifix up in front of him. And there's one more thing that makes this whole situation even harder to shake. At one moment, a cross hanging on the wall simply vanishes, then reappears seconds later, flipped upside down. For people who take spiritual symbolism seriously, an inverted cross is seen as a sign that whatever was present had real hostility toward anything holy. Unfortunately, no further updates have surfaced regarding this case since the footage was posted. I'll be keeping an eye on the story and will share any new developments if they become available. This family's home had slowly transformed into a place of constant fear. Their young son had begun reacting in ways they couldn't explain. Some nights he would run from his room, insisting that someone had poked him while he slept. He's been waking up with unexplained marks on his skin, pointing at empty walls and saying quietly, he did it. His parents first thought it was nightmares or imagination, something he'd grow out of, but the episodes grew more frequent and more physical, until sleep became difficult for the entire family. The whole family was struggling with what he was going through. Then, during the night, while everyone was sleeping, the cameras were rolling when another episode started. Under the blanket, you can see the boy's feet shift unnaturally. Then suddenly, the blanket lifts as if someone grabbed it. The child wakes up immediately, crying and shouting that something pulled his foot. His mother, trying to comfort him, says she was the one who tucked the blanket, hoping that explanation would help him settle down. But she later admitted she never moved from her spot in bed. When the family went back and watched the security footage the next morning, they realized what actually happened. No one else was in the room, yet something unseen clearly made physical contact with him. This kind of direct physical interaction is considered one of the most disturbing forms of paranormal activity, especially involving children. Many researchers believe entities target younger people because they're more psychically open and less able to resist. The boy had already been feeling unexplained touches, sudden pokes, and pointing to empty corners, so this incident felt like part of something building over time. For his family, the real terror wasn't just what happened that night, it was knowing whatever made contact with their son could return. Two janitors working the graveyard shift at a hospital were about to clock out when they both suddenly froze. They had just heard a strange, disturbing sound coming from inside a bathroom that should have been locked and completely empty. Security footage from a hospital in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, captured what happened next. The clip was posted to TikTok by an account called Tanah Kabur back in March. You can see both workers moving slowly toward the door, neither one sure what they're about to walk into. When the woman gets close enough to see inside, she reacts like she's just seen something horrific. Her co-worker can't see anything from where he's standing. According to her, what she saw matched up with a disturbing story circulating around that hospital for years. She turned and ran, but the camera kept rolling and picked up something strange. She opens the bathroom door carefully and reaches toward the light switch, but she pulls her hand back before she even flips it. Later, she told people she saw a man suspended from the ceiling, his face twisted and colorless, staring directly at her. That's when she completely lost it. She screams and stumbles backward into the wall. Her co-worker doesn't wait to ask questions. He bolts down the hallway without even glancing inside. Then something happens that's harder to explain. The light inside the bathroom turns on by itself. The door starts to swing open even further, like something on the other side wants them to step in. Just as the camera nears the bathroom stall, the recording abruptly ends. The uploader says the rest of the footage disappeared without explanation. What makes this more unsettling is the building's dark history. For decades, employees have shared stories about a man who took his own life in one of those same restrooms during the 1980s. Paranormal investigators suggest this could be a residual haunting, where a traumatic moment replays endlessly like a loop. What do you think? Just an echo from the past, or something watching from the other side?